The success of people who started out in trouble.
Successful people who started their careers with a series of failures. If something is going wrong in your business or career, look back at the experiences of successful people in world history. It is inspiring. 1. For example, Milton Hershey, the creator of the Hershey chocolate empire, worked as a typesetter in a printing house at the beginning of his career, and later got a job at a confectionery factory, where he became acquainted with the technology of producing candies and chocolate. He was inspired by the idea of creating sweets and decided to found his own company, but his first experience in this field was unsuccessful. He decided to try his luck in Denver, Colorado. Having acquired the skills of making caramel there, the entrepreneur wanted to set up production in New York, but again suffered a fiasco. The business stubbornly refused to bring in profit. And, to Hershey's credit, even the repeated failure did not weaken his determination to engage in confectionery. He returned to his family's farm and began to search for his unique candy recipe. The rest of the story is already known. Hershey Milton's milk chocolate became a bestseller in the confectionery market. The businessman opened his own factory, which brought him fabulous money and fame. 2. Garland David Sanders is a name that is not widely known, but many people know the global fast food chain Kentucky Fried Chicken. Colonel Sanders, this is how its creator is most often called, is living proof that success can be achieved at any age and in any business. The main thing is to work hard and fruitfully to achieve the goal. After completing his military service, Sanders worked as an insurance agent, a fireman, a farmer, and even owned a small gas station. However, the latter was more popular with the local population as a place to enjoy chicken wings, personally prepared by the colonel. Cooking became his life's work after his retirement. Garland traveled around the states, offering his recipe to owners of roadside diners, but there was no result. Rumor has it that he received more than 1,000 refusals before his method of cooking chicken wings interested anyone. Nevertheless, the determined colonel achieved his goal, and now his chain of diners has more than 16,000 establishments in 110 countries. 3. Bill Gates doesn't really advertise that his first creation was a company called Traf Zero Data, which developed traffic counters for city authorities. But not only did the company quickly go bust, it turned out that a trial version of one of the products failed testing, as a result of which Gates' reputation was thoroughly tarnished. But Gates did not give up, and the result of his many years of efforts now needs no description. 4. Among the stories worthy of attention, we should also mention the confession of director Steven Spielberg. Climbing Olympus, the future famous director experienced a whole series of failures that almost put an end to his career. At first, he failed the selection process at the University of Southern California's School of Cinematic Arts. Moreover, repeated attempts to pass the exams were also in vain. He also failed to enroll in other departments of the school. Anyone else in his place would have been disappointed in cinematography forever, but Stephen was determined. He enrolled in a technical college, and in his free time he made a short film, which was noticed by Universal Pictures. You know the rest of the story. 5. Today, Walt Disney Studios cartoons can be called a real cultural phenomenon. But Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Goofy and other characters might not have appeared if Walt had not been so persistent in his desire for success. After all, he was fired from a Kansas City newspaper for not being creative enough. The idea of Mickey Mouse was rejected at MGM Studios for fear that a mouse on the screen would scare off female audiences, and The Three Little Pigs was rejected because the cartoon only had 4 characters. But Disney worked hard, ignoring the critics, and as we now know, he ended up not just founding his own studio, but making it a leading cartoon factory. Oprah Winfrey today. Oprah Winfrey is one of the most powerful women in the world, with a net worth estimated in the billions of dollars. But her path to the top was anything but smooth. Born into a poor family in rural Mississippi, she experienced a difficult childhood filled with violence and poverty. Despite these difficult circumstances, Oprah managed to get an education and build a career. One of the most painful moments in her life was when she was fired from her job as a news anchor on a Baltimore television station as a young woman. The management deemed her unsuitable for television. Oprah took it as a challenge, but she did not give up. She accepted a role on a local talk show, People Are Talking, where she found her unique style and discovered her talent for emotionally connecting with viewers. This experience became the launching pad that led her to create her own legendary talk show, The Oprah Winfrey Show, the most successful show in American television history. Over the years, she built a media empire and became a symbol of strength and inspiration to millions of people. Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison is considered one of the most brilliant inventors in history, but his path to success was full of difficulties. He is famous for his invention of the light bulb, but few people know that he had to endure more than 10,000 failures before the light bulb started working reliably. At first, Edison's experiments with the incandescent light bulb were very unsuccessful. When asked how he dealt with so many failures, Edison replied that he simply found 10,000 ways that won't work. This approach to failure and incredible resilience made him one of the greatest inventors. His inventions, such as the phonograph, the motion picture camera, and improvements to telegraphy, changed the world. And his name has gone down in history as a symbol of dogged determination and innovation. J.K. Rowling. Before J.K. Rowling became one of the most successful writers in the world, her life was filled with hardship and poverty. Divorced and with a child to raise, she lived on welfare, sometimes without enough money to buy food. She began writing Harry Potter in coffee shops while her daughter slept nearby, but she never lost faith in her story. When she finished the manuscript, she was met with another wave of disappointment. More than 10 publishers refused to publish the book, seeing no potential in it. However, Rowling did not give up and continued sending the manuscript to different publishers. Eventually, a small publishing house, Bloomsbury, accepted her book, and this was the beginning of her phenomenal success. The Harry Potter series brought her worldwide fame and fortune. Today, her books have been translated into dozens of languages, and she herself inspires people with her resilience and desire to achieve her dreams. Henry Ford. Henry Ford was not just a car manufacturer, but also a man who changed the approach to mass production. However, his road to success was not easy. Before founding the Ford Motor Company, Ford suffered many failures. He started with the Detroit Automobile Company, which quickly went bankrupt, and then his second project, the Henry Ford Company, also failed due to lack of funds and conflicts with partners. After these failures, Ford worked to improve his cars, creating the Ford Model T, and also developed the innovative idea of assembly line production, which allowed him to significantly reduce the cost of cars and make them affordable for more people. Thanks to this innovative approach, the Ford Motor Company quickly became a leader in the automobile industry, and Ford himself became a symbol of the Industrial Revolution in America. His success was built on mistakes and determination to overcome difficulties.